Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so for chapter 545 Fairy Tail, the final chapter will be out hopefully by Friday and most by Monday next week. And you know what? I'm hyped for it. I am excited for this final 48-page chapter. I cannot wait for it. And if you read the title of this video, you know that I'm basically here to talk about my predictions and basically what I think there might be a possibility of there being a chapter or like a sequel to Fairy Tail. But before we talk about the final chapter and my predictions for it, let's talk about the main complaint people have for this last week's chapter, chapter 544, which is basically the people did not like the way the final fight ended. So yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Okay, so basically people did not like the fact that the final fight ended in a one shot from Natsu to Acnologia. And I kind of agree with people. Admittedly, in my last week's review, I defended this fight, or I really defended the reason why the fight ended the way it did. And basically, I gave credit to Lucy in that review. I said that basically it wasn't for her. She basically won the entire fight for everyone. If it wasn't for her immobilizing Agnolia's dragon body in the real world, his human body would have basically tainted. Would have basically took Natsu's attack, aided, and killed everyone because all the Dragon Slayers gave all their last bit of magical power to Natsu. Natsu put all his last bit of magical power into that attack. If Agnolia would have aided, he would have killed everyone there, and then his main body would have somehow broken free from the fairy spear, or his human body would have came in and gave him an extra bit of power or whatever. At the end of the day, he would have broke out the fairy spear, killed everyone. So yeah, if it wasn't for her doing that and immobilizing him, Natsu would have died, everyone would have died, and that's the reason why I defended it, because at the end of the day, I say Lucy won the battle for everyone. But at the same time, I understand when people are upset, because Agnolia's been this big bad character, like the big bad among big bads, that's been built up throughout this entire series. Like, he's basically, like, even Zeref, he's been built up as much as Zeref, possibly even more than Zeref has. And Zeref is basically the Madara of the series. Like, if you read Naruto, or if you watch Naruto, Zeref was basically the Madara of this series. And even he was afraid of Agnolia. Even he said he couldn't be Agnolia, one-on-one. He needed the extra help from Fairy Heart to do it. So for us not to get the final fight, and we've been built up this final fight between Agnolia and the Dragon Slayers, the 7 Dragon Slayers, since basically his introduction. And even after all that, even all the build up, all the build up for the character, all the build up for the final fight, we didn't get the final fight we were promised, and people were upset about that. And admittedly, they have every right to be. They have every right to be upset at the fact that we didn't get the final fight that we were promised. But at the same time, I gotta defend Hiro here. I gotta defend Hiro in saying this. We all gotta admit, we all have to admit that at the end of the day, no matter what Hiro did, no matter what he did with his final fight, he could have spent 10 chapters on his final fight. No matter how epic he would have made it, it would never have been as epic as the fight we built up in our heads for this final fight between Agnologia and the Dragon Slayers. No matter what he would have done in this final fight between them, no matter how he would have ended it, it would never have lived up to what we built up in our heads, and we would have all been left disappointed regardless. We also have to remember that at the end of the day, Hiro was kind of strapped for chapters. I imagine that the war arc took a lot longer than Hiro actually imagined it would be. So when it came down to, that ending and the final fight between Agnologia, he only had about 5 or 6 chapters left. And I know what you're probably thinking. He could have easily done an epic fight in those chapters if he didn't split up the 2 bodies and had to split his time between the real world and the time-lapse dimension. But realistically, he had to split it up because he had built Agnologia up to be such a powerful character that realistically, if they didn't have the out of, Fairy Spirit immobilizing his dragon body in the real world and affecting his timeless dimension body, they wouldn't have won that fight. Because if it wasn't for his body being immobilized, he would have ate the magic and he killed everyone, like I said in the beginning. So he had split it up, and instead of, disappointing us with only a few chapters of being able to, show a really drawn out fight between the Dragon Slayers, one that at the end of the day, like I said, would never lived up to the fight that we imagined in our heads, he decided, alright, instead of focusing on Dragon Slayers fighting, let me give credit to the people of Magnolia, let me give the credit to the regular wizards, not the Dragon Slayers, for doing their job and helping to defeat them. At the end of the day, because it's always been said that Dragon Slayers are the only ones who are possible of defeating dragons. So basically he is like, alright, you know what, I've been saying this entire time that only Dragon Slayers can defeat dragons, but you know what, let's put all the focus on the main people. Let's put all the focus on the regular people and show that they are not helpless against dragons themselves, that they could actually basically help out or be, not beneficial, basically be essential in the fight against dragons. So yeah, while I agree with you guys that at the end of the day, the final fight between Dragon Slayers and Actinogia was disappointing and wasn't as epic as we've all hoped it would be, I understand why Hero did it. I'm not gonna say that he was right to do it. I'm not gonna say that, he should have done it this way. At the end of the day, if if I was Hero, I probably would have argued with my editor and with the publishing company for like maybe 2 or 3 extra chapters so I can actually give the epic fight the way I wanted to give it. But at the same time, circumstantially, with the fact that he was strapped for chapters, that the fight would not have been as epic as we hoped it would be in our heads, and the fact that he had built up Actinogia to be such a powerful character that at the end of the day, he could only really be defeated in this way. I understand why Hero did it, and I accept it. Alright, now let's talk about my predictions for this chapter, chapter 545. Alright, so basically my predictions are kind of the same. I have 2 predictions, and they're both basically the same, just different versions of the same one. And admittedly, they're kind of light. I haven't really put much thought into it. My main predictions are, alright, my first prediction is that we're going to get a time skip. That's basically, both my predictions are time skips. My first prediction is that we're going to get time skip maybe 2 to 3 months, or maybe a year at most, head into the future after this whole war. And we're just basically going to see all the main characters, pounding around all the guilds and all the main characters we know from each guild, basically confirming each ship. And that'll be the end of it. Just basically, that'll be the chapter, showing where all the guilds and all the people that we come to know and to love from Fairy Tail, seeing what they're doing like 2 to 3 months or to a year at most later, seeing what they're doing then, and basically confirming all the ships. Now, my second prediction, which is basically the same thing, a time skip, confirming all the ships, but this time I'm thinking that maybe we'll be probably 10 years into the future, all the characters that we know, because basically all the main characters that we've been following are teenagers, I think around 17, 18 years old. We do a time skip into the future, confirming all the ships by basically showing them all have families, like Natsu and Lucy having kids, Gray and Juvia being together having kids, Elf Green, and actually, you know what? Really, at the end of the day, Natsu and Lucy and Gray and Juvia are the only ships that aren't confirmed that are, have been built up or actually have a possibility of being canon outside of. Admittedly, there's a little bit there for Laxus and Mara Jane, but all the other ships that haven't already been confirmed, like Elf Green and not Elf Green, Elfman and Evergreen, I guess that's their ship name, Elf Green. I don't know. They've already been confirmed. Basically, Gajeel and Levy have been confirmed. We already know that Urza and Jalal have been confirmed, but basically every other ship out there besides maybe Laxus and Mara Jane don't really have any credit when it comes, or don't have any real presence when it comes to being canon. I mean, I know there are fan ships out there that people I think, what's her name, Lizana and Bixlow. I know people are shipping them. People are shipping Laxus and Freed for some reason. Those ships don't really have any proof of being true, so we're probably not gonna see any of those. But we will most likely see Natsu and Lucy, Gray and Juvia together. And if I'm right about the 10-year time skip thing being a thing, and us seeing the families and the kids of our current main cast of Fairy Tail, then we also had the possibility of the fact that there might be a sequel to Fairy Tail, like a Fairy Tail 2, basically a Boruto is the sequel to Naruto. We might get something like that. And Hero has sent it before in an interview. I'll try to find it and link it in the description below. If I can't, sorry, I just can't. But he has said in an interview before that he was thinking about the possibility of doing a sequel to Fairy Tail, set in the same universe, following the kids of the main characters. So if he does that, I'm hyped for it. I'll be excited for it. I'll definitely read it, and I'll definitely review each chapter. Hopefully he doesn't do what Boruto did, which instead of being a weekly like Naruto was, end up being a monthly. Hopefully he doesn't do that, because we see how badly Boruto is suffering from that. People aren't really liking that series. I mean, they're starting to pick up on it more now that we're finally, through the whole movie arc and actually focus on new content. But it's still suffering. It's not anywhere near as popular as Naruto was. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Fairy Tail, but who knows. But yeah, and that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Chapter 545 is right around the corner. I'm hyped for it. The final ending of Fairy Tail. I cannot wait to see what happens in it. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below your thoughts and theories. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.